I hope you're having a really good day so far, and the Samhain Sanctum is absolutely incredible. I know I'm definitely enjoying it, so I'm pretty sure you're enjoying it too. So I thought in today's workshop I would teach you a little bit about Samhain in general and how you can actually celebrate it, alongside creating a little protection spell, as I know around this time of year we've got all sorts of spirits and everything lingering around the place, so protecting ourselves from the spirits that are gonna cause us harm is such an amazing idea. And I've created a spell that is so simple and easy to use that anyone can do it, whether you're a beginner witch or you've been in the witchcraft practice a little bit longer. So around this time of year is when the veil between our world and the spirit world is at its thinnest. So that means we'll have spirits coming in and out of our realm, I want to say, or world, or whatever you want to call it, coming in and out. That could be like lost loved ones, it could be your ancestors, or it could be your typical ghosts and ghoulies that no one really wants to see or hear about. So to start off with, this time of year is absolutely perfect for celebrating your ancestors and getting in contact with those that you have lost throughout the year or maybe a few years ago. So one of the main ways you can do this is by practicing divination. So this can include tarot cards, runes, pendulums, tea leaf reading, coffee grind reading if you're not quite into tea, as well as Ouija boards and all those bits and pieces. I know I'm going to be giving a Ouija board a go. I've never done it before, so this will be interesting. But no one else apart from my granddad has actually lived in my house, so I'm thinking he's the only one that's going to be there to talk to. Fingers crossed. Other ways you can get in contact with your ancestors is you could go to their graves and just decorate the grave for the theme of Samhain. So you can put acorns, you can put dried leaves, you can put flowers, you can put candles and all those autumnal bits and bobs on your loved one's grave, and you can spend time just with them and, I don't know, just talk to them what you'd like to say to them, even if you can't actually say it. Another great way of contacting and getting in contact with them is hosting a dumb supper. This is essentially where you'll set an extra place on your table for those that you've lost throughout the year, and you'd kind of host the whole meal in silence. That's traditionally what happens. Or if you don't want to host it all in silence, you could just take some time reminiscing about the good times you've had with these people, with the people you're still with today, and just talk about, I don't know, what you miss about them, what you wish you could say to them if they were there, or anything like that. Or even if you don't feel like doing anything like that, you could simply just light a candle or a tea light and just take some time reflecting on them as a person and the relationship you had with one another. You could also maybe write down a letter, what you'd say to them if you could, and then, let me think, you could burn the letter and then blow the ashes to the wind, so you're kind of like telling the universe to go take that message for them, despite wherever they are and what they're doing. Like I mentioned before, not only is this time of year the time of year where you've got spirits coming into this world, you're gonna have quite a few misbehaving spirits that you don't necessarily want around. Like, I'm definitely going to be protecting my home from any negative energies or spirits that might want to come and let themselves in. So I'm going to walk through a little simple protection spell that you can do at home just from the ingredients that you might have lying around. So this will include a candle. You can either have a white candle or a black candle. Black candle represents protection and white candles can represent any colour you want. So even if you don't have a black candle, you can use a white one. This candle can be of any size depending on how long you have to perform the to perform the ritual. Oh my gosh. And that could be, you could use big like dinner candles, similar to ones like these, or you could literally just use a tea light. It's completely up to you. All of them will work just as well, but if you feel like you need like an extra bit more protection, as you think there's going to be some more negative energies than usual lingering around your home, you can use the bigger ones, as bigger candles are usually used for bigger spells and ones that require a little bit more energy and work. So I've got my black candle with me. In a minute I will go through the steps and stages on what you need to do to perform the spell. At the minute I'll just show you what you need. So we've got a black candle, some salt, it could be any kind of salt. I've got Himalayan salt and your normal average table salt. You can use sea salt, you can use black salt if you've created it, which is made out of salt and incense ash, or any other type of salt that you may have lying around your home. It's completely down to you. Salt represents protection, and we're going to be using it to create a little circle of salt in which we will be placing the candle and a few names of the people that may live in your home. Next, I just keep it in this bag as it's like a load of loose pieces of sage. So I just have some sage leaves here that we're going to use in the ritual as well. You can use ground sage, you can use fresh sage, and if you don't necessarily have sage, you can use things such as black pepper, or you can use rosemary. And let me give you another alternative. Or you can use other herbs such as basil or oregano. Have a look in your kitchen, in your cupboards, and see what herbs and spices you have, and you can maybe lay them all out in your kitchen and then go through each one and deciding on which will work best. You can use online references to get the correspondences and the magical properties of each herb. So it's completely down to you how you want to do it, but this is how I would do my spell. Alongside this, before each ritual and spell work, I will usually take some time to just like calm down, maybe have a cleansing shower and do some meditative work beforehand, just so I can kind of get like in the zone and clear my mind from all like the negative things or anything that's gone on throughout the day, just so I can clear my mind and solely focus on the intention of the spell, which is protecting all those that live in your home or may come into your home throughout this season. Once you've completely got into the zone and you've not got any distractions or anything, you can really take the time to sit down and work on your spell. First off, you can kind of do it in whatever order you want. I would usually get the candle first, then using something sharp, you can inscribe the words protection or protection from negative energies or anything relating to protection and those that you want to keep protected within your home. So for example, I could inscribe protected home into the candle. And whilst inscribing on your candle, you can also put protection runes or symbols or sigils that you associate with protection and banishing negativity and negative energies onto the candle. Just as you're inscribing it onto the candle, make sure you're focusing solely on the intention. So as you're inscribing in the candle, you're thinking of protection, and with each stroke of the pen or anything you're using to write it in with, you're adding protection, and you're adding protection from all negative energies into the candle. So after you've inscribed on the candle, you can then get your salt. Like I said, it doesn't really matter which salt you use, as salt in general is for protection. I know certain salts can represent other different things at the same time, but sea salt or normal table salt is absolutely perfect for this spell. So what you want to do is grab your salt and you're going to pour it on a flat surface and then make a small circle out of the salt. I'll show you exactly what I mean, bear with me. So what you can also do before you start your spell work and your ritual, you can take some time to just light some incense and then cleanse the area that you're working in. You can go clockwise to bring in good intentions, or you can turn anti-clockwise, to remove any negative intentions. And then if you want, you can keep the incense burning just as you're performing spell work, but if not, it's completely down to you. So I don't actually have a flat surface, so I'm going to work on the back side of a piece of paper. Well, I do have flat surface, but I like doing it at my altar. So we're just going to do it this way. So I've got my paper just to create a flat background, and then after that you can just create a little pile of salt. Pile of salt like this. And once you've done this, you can use your finger to move the salt into a circle-like position. It doesn't matter if not all the salts, there's still some salt in the middle, that's completely fine. You can be as perfect or imperfect with it. At the end of the day, it's just about the intention and the thoughts that you put behind it. So now that you've got your circle, you can then go about writing down the names that you want to protect. So then, now that you've got your circle, you can write down the names of the things that you want to protect throughout this season. It can be as long or as little of a list as you want. Just as long as you're writing it, you're thinking that they are protected. You could even write maybe a little protection mantra on the thing as well. And then after that, you can just place it in the middle of the salt. So here you're visualizing that the people and the things that are in this circle are the ones that are protected from any negative energies or any bad spirits or anything like that. It's at this point you can add the herbs or any ingredients that you'd like into the spell. It's completely up to you. If you want to bring them, say, some extra happiness as well, you can add maybe some rose petals or some orange, anything orange related. It's honestly down to you. You can tailor this exactly how you want to fit your intentions and specifically what you want. So here I'm just adding some sage leaves in the middle. Nothing has to be perfect and overly aesthetic. You can do it if you want, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's all about your intention. After that, you can get your candle. After that, you can get your candle. Believe it or not, I don't actually have a candlestick holder. I run into this problem every single time I do this. So I'll be right back and I'll find something I can use as a candle holder. But bear with me. Okay, now that you've got everything set up and you've got your herbs and bits and bobs all sorted, you can even add some essential oils if you want to match the intentions that you're going for. It's then time to actually perform the spell. I guess you're kind of performing it as you're going along, but this is where the magic really happens, without wanting to sound cliche. But yeah, I hope you guys are all following it through so far. I'll actually put down a little description, or I'll find somewhere to give you guys a little instruction, how-to guide, so that you don't have to just rely on this video. You can go and print off the instructions and the different bits and bobs that you need so that you can use it at any other time of the year. So if you want, as well as like as you're meditating beforehand, or even throughout the whole spell, you can put some like spiritual sounding music on. I tend to go with folk / Viking meditative music, as it kind of gets me into the whole vibe. So once you're ready, light the candle and we'll go. As you're lighting the candle, visualize that as this candle burns, the people inside the circle and the things inside the circle are now protected from all negative energies or anything that might bring harm your way. I was going to do a fancy transition here, but never mind. There we go. So preferably I would say to spend time with the candle as it burns down and to let it burn down fully. If you have to go out or do something where you can't keep your full attention on the candle, you can simply just snuff it out with your fingers. That actually burnt my fingers a little bit, instead of blowing it, because if you blow it, it kind of says to the universe that this spell is complete, it's finished, I don't need anything else from it. Whereas if you literally just pinch it out with your fingers, it's kind of like pressing pause whilst watching a TV program on Netflix. So that's kind of how I see it. Just let the candle burn fully, and as the candle burns, envision that there's a bright white light, or kind of like a shield wall envelope in your home, and anyone else that is in anything else that is written down on the piece of paper. Okay, as the candle burns, the other things and what you could do maybe is, if you want to add a little bit of extra protection into your home, you can get a sage bundle like these. I have these ones on my website. Or you can get a bag of sage if you didn't necessarily want to burn it. You could then put it in a little organza bag and like hang it off your front door or anything like that. Or if you want something a little bit more discreet, you could simply just hide it under your welcome mat in front of your door. So that kind of like creates like a barrier for any evil energies that you don't want in your home, kind of wards them off. I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini workshop of like a little spell ritual that you can do throughout this spooky time of year. There's a wide range of different things you can do, and if you're not sure, feel free to message me or any of the other ones that are hosting, as I'm pretty sure they'll have an idea too. And you can just send me a message, ask whether this ingredient will work, if this doesn't work, or anything like that. If you're unsure, just ask. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. With regards to getting started in witchcraft, I would say my number one top tip is to research, say it 3 times, because like witchcraft journeys, they vary depending on the person. Like mine will be completely different to yours, and say a spell that I do might not necessarily work for someone else. Just doing your research and covering topics that you want to learn about, whether it's things like candle magic or anything relating to herbs, crystals, meditation, just all the whole umbrella. If you just make a list of the things that you want to learn and just make your way down that list, like you can do it as often or as little as you like. You don't, with witchcraft, it doesn't matter if you perform a spell once a year or every single day, as long as your intention's there and you're planning on improving with your spell work, and it'll come with time. You've just got to believe it, as at the end of the day, 90% of everything is how much you believe in it. So if you believe that X, Y, and Z is going to happen, it will happen, whether that's a positive thing or a negative thing. Just the main thing with witchcraft is concentrating on your intention and making sure that you're doing what you can to get what you want. At the end of the day, it might not be straight away, or it might be like a few years down the line, or it might even be tomorrow. It's the intention and the meaning behind it that will help you do amazingly well in your spell work and get whatever you ask the universe for. Like I said, I hope you really enjoyed this mini little workshop, and thank you guys so much for having me. I have absolutely loved creating this for you, as witchcraft seems to be my whole entire life. So getting the chance and the opportunity to teach other people about witchcraft is something I love, and witchcraft has helped me in so many different ways, and I hope I can help you guys in getting what you want from witchcraft and starting your own witchcraft journey. But other than that, I hope you guys have a really good rest of the workshop and you enjoy yourself and you go out and absolutely celebrate and enjoy Samhain or Halloween, whatever you want to call it. Just make sure you're protecting yourself from any negative energies, because we don't want them in our lives. But other than that, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and feel free to follow me on my social medias, which are all at Mystic Primrose.